Generally, it can take anywhere from 18 to 250 days to form a habit, and 66 days for the habit to become an autonomic response in the brain. For a habit to be formed in your brain, it goes through a loop process that includes cueing or developing a trigger pattern, and then there is the actual routine formation and the behavior, and then finally the reward. So cue, routine, reward. And your brain cues certain behavior, certain things that trigger you to go into that automatic mode of behavior. And that's where the routine is established. Habits define who you are, and they have a huge influence on your life, including your potential. They can be self-sabotaging. They can hold you back from achieving success, realizing your full potential, and even being happy. This video is going to focus on bad habits and how you can effectively overcome them in 7 brilliant ways. You get into a routine, the behavior, whenever the thought is cued, and then finally you enjoy the reward, which happens right after the behavior. The reward might be stress release or enjoyment, and this process releases small amounts of dopamine into your brain, making you want to do it again and again and again, eventually forming a habit. Now, once your behavior starts happening automatically, your brain ability to make decisions is deactivated for this behavior, thereby allowing it to occur without you having to think too consciously about it. Understand why you need to change. Before you can make a change though, you need to understand your why. The reason for wanting to quit that bad habit in the first place. Find your reasons for wanting to quit a bad habit, write them down, and keep this list somewhere you're going to look at it regularly. Keep adding to it. Whether you want to quit the bad habit of biting your nails or excessively drinking, these timely tips can help you stop that stubborn habit. So let's get into those 7 tips for quitting bad habits. The first one is identifying the trigger. Having a trigger is the first part of developing a habit, since your behavior is always in response to something. And once you identify the habit you want to quit, spend a few days keeping track of the habit pattern. Look out for particular factors like when the habit happens, the time of day, how you're feeling, what you're looking for from that habit, and whether other people influence your response or your behavior, or whether it occurs because of something else. After tracking your habit for a few days, you'll be able to identify a few of your cues. Find support. When letting go of a bad habit, having an accountability comes highly recommended. For instance, someone overeating on junk food might find the cravings overbearing. And if they don't have someone to help them through this process, it gets even more difficult. While having support is not going to make the cravings go away, it does help because it allows you to talk to someone about your struggles, thereby negating them. An accountability partner, someone you trust, is there to encourage you when the going gets tough. Therefore, don't overlook the importance of having support. Become aware of your thoughts. Since you already know your trigger, mindfulness allows you to remain alert of your feelings and your thoughts that are leading you towards that habit. And when you practice mindfulness, you'll notice that impulses that lead to your routine without reacting to them. You notice it come and you notice it go. And as you become aware of your routines, your triggers, you'll find it easier to channel your thoughts, to transmute them in a different direction altogether. Whenever you notice them drifting towards you, you watch them come and you watch them go. Mindfulness in particular makes it easier for you to see how your habit affects your life, which gives you the motivation to change that bad habit. Replacing a bad habit with a good one. It's always easier to break a bad habit by just replacing it with a good one. Instead of trying to stop a bad habit and leaving a void in its place, just replace it. So if you want to stop reaching for sweets whenever you're hungry, maybe it's easier to replace that stash of candies you've got in your kitchen with a healthier snack instead, something like a protein bar. Repeating the new habit will allow you to develop a new routine, making it easier for you to overcome your old habits and upgrade them with new ones. And eventually what you'll see is positive rewards from this new habit that you've upgraded it to, giving you even more reason to keep changing and evolving. Remember to practice moderation with the new habit, because the other thing to remember here is too much of anything can also negatively affect you. Learn from your setbacks. Breaking a habit is not a smooth journey. There's gonna be slip-ups, there's gonna be thoughts of giving up and sabotage that are gonna meet you along the way, and that can stall your progress. But the key factor to remember is that you're not chasing perfection, you're chasing progression. And when starting out, preparing to fail and being okay with that is gonna prevent you from toxic feelings of shame, guilt, and such, and falling back into your old habits when it happens. When you slip up, take some time to accept, analyze, and learn from it. Take some time to check in with yourself, to learn, why did this happen? And what could I do to prevent it from happening again in the future? Using your slip-ups to channel your habit-breaking process, it can be such an amazing way of making progress and ensuring that you remain on track. Adjust your environment. Sometimes your environment is the thing that has the biggest bearing on your habits. And when you're trying to let go of a bad habit, have a think about your environment and making changes to that environment to make it easier for the good things to happen and less of the bad stuff. When you're trying to quit ordering takeout to save money, you could start by getting rid of all the apps on your phone, all the menus in your kitchen, and replacing these things with healthy recipes and stocking up on groceries. You replace ordering out with cooking healthy meals at home. The people you surround yourself with can also be the reason that you practice these vices. And if you notice your friends are the less positive influences, maybe consider limiting time that you spend with them whilst you overcome this habit. And this can go a long way in minimizing your triggers, making it easier to shed the habit. Reward yourself. Breaking a habit, it's not an easy process, and therefore small milestones, they require recognition, celebration, and reward. And you can set up your own reward program where you get to do something, where once you've hit a milestone, you do something fun, something you enjoy. And you'll find that this is a huge motivator during the change process, bringing you closer to your goal. Remember to acknowledge your efforts along the way because the journey matters. Simple things like telling yourself, you've done a great job, or just writing it down. Those things can boost your confidence and boost your drive. 7 incredible ways to break bad habits. Click here to watch another video and see you next time.